Here are a few quick LinkedIn tips to get you up to speed on LinkedIn so that you can brand your LinkedIn in the direction of the career that you want to go into. LinkedIn is so important as a job seeker and especially a career transitioner. It helps you connect with people in your industry and potentially make key connections that could help you get a job later. I've met mentors through LinkedIn. I've gotten jobs through LinkedIn. You definitely want to have a LinkedIn. There's no other way to say it. Here's a quick run through of everything that you need to consider when you're going over your LinkedIn. Make sure you have a professional photo and that it doesn't have anyone else in it. Look at your cover photo and think about what you want to include there. It can either be related to your personal brand as long as it's professional, or it could be related to your job that you want to go into in the industry that you want to go into. So you could have a photo related to engineering if you are going into the engineering industry, or maybe like a piece of technology or something like that. Your header is really important as well. In your header, you want to focus on defining who you help or how you help. So do you help through a service? Do you help through creating something? Do you work on a product? That's something that you can use to brand your LinkedIn in the direction that you want to go in. And it sounds better than just putting your job title up there. I have a few examples in the worksheet below. You want to make sure you're active on LinkedIn and you're posting and commenting on things related to the industry that you're interested in. And if you're following groups and organizations that relate to that, that will help. And also following key leaders in the industry that you're interested in. Your About section is unique because it can be in first person and your resume can't be in first person. You want to focus on creating a professional summary, kind of like in your resume, but use first person, be a little bit more personal. Maybe include the story of why you got into what you do and why you care about it. And then include a little bit of your key highlights in your career, things that set you apart that relate to the role or industry that you want to go into. I recommend looking at people's LinkedIn profiles who are in the industry that you want to go into, and you'll see this really varies industry to industry. In banking, there's very little in the About section. In other industries like marketing, there's a lot in the About section. So make sure you cross-reference other people's profiles to see what's common for your industry. For your experience, when you're just getting started, you can copy-paste your resume into your experience section. You can copy-paste those bullet points and put them in there. And then later on, if you want to write it in paragraph form, you can. Some people have bullet points. Some people have paragraph form. Is there a right or a wrong way there? It's really opinion-based and it's industry-based. So I'll let you choose what feels right for you. As long as it's well written and it shows your key skills and your experience, that's the most important thing. You'll want to include your education, but if you're more than 3 or 4 years out of college, take the year off just to prevent any additional discrimination or issues there. And you can also include some of the things that you were involved in college if it relates to the industry that you want to go into or the role that you want to go into. You can also add licenses and certifications, and that's very important to include. Include the dates on those if they're more recent. You can add skills that are related to the job that you want to go into, and you can add them at the bottom, and you can add them attached to each role. You don't want to go too overboard there, though. You can also ask for recommendations, and these can be really powerful if they're coming from people who are in the industry that you're interested in, or they're past connections that you've had that just really know you well and can vouch for your credibility. You can also add organizations onto your LinkedIn. And that's important because that can also show, say you're wanting to go into HR, but you're not in HR yet, and you're involved in SHRM, you can add that, and that helps brand your resume in the direction that you want to go in. So organizations can be a powerful tool as well. Your interests will come up at the bottom here based on who you're following, companies, groups, things like that. So follow things that are related to the role and industry that you want to go into, both groups, top LinkedIn voices, and organizations. There's a few things that I don't have on my LinkedIn profile. Some of those things are courses. If you recently graduated college or you got your master's and you're transitioning into a different field, add your related coursework onto LinkedIn. You can also add projects, but you want to be careful about this because some companies have privacy regulations around what they are allowed to share, and you don't want to share a project that you're not supposed to be sharing. So if you share certain things on LinkedIn, just make sure it's something that you're allowed to share from your company. But including projects from school or projects from work can also help bolster your LinkedIn page. Don't add everything you've ever been involved in. Think about how you can brand your resume in the direction that you want to go in. And you can add previous experience dating back if it relates to that. And if it showcases some qualitative skills that relate to what you want to go into. So maybe if you want to go into, I'm using human resources again, if you want to go into human resources, but a lot of your previous experience was working in restaurants. If you had some management experience working in restaurants, managing people, working with difficult customers, that can still be branded in that direction. So don't be too hard on yourself and know that you can brand almost anything in the direction that you want to go into, as long as you can pick up on the qualitative skills. So good communication, effective conflict management skills, things like that you might have picked up from past jobs that would be needed in your future job. Those are some of the things that you can include as well. So this should help get you started on LinkedIn. I'll have another video after this that will talk about how to use LinkedIn for research and for job searching.